Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode titled The POSCO Parable: How Politics Caused Nigeria's Steel Disaster. I am Triple O. This episode reveals how politics and policy cost Nigeria several lost decades of underdevelopment. It is how politics truncated industrialization. It is how myopic leadership drove Nigeria from abundance into the abyss of destitution. In 1968, South Korea broke ground on a steel plant, a nation with no significant iron ore reserves, no coal deposit worth speaking of, and a per capita income not far above Nigeria's at that time. Many observers were skeptical. The World Bank pointedly refused to finance the project, citing lack of comparative advantage. However, they did not reckon with South Korea's iron will leader by the name Park Chung-hee. In 1971, Nigeria also broke ground on its own steel plant, a nation flush with oil revenues, abundant natural resources, backed by international technical consultants, and brimming with national ambition. Sadly, the country did not have Korea's type of determined leadership. Today, one of those steel plants, POSCO, is among the most efficient in the world. The Nigerian plant, on the other hand, has never, not once, achieved full operation. In fact, it has produced zero primary steel. Today we ask why. In our last episode, we examined the foundational errors of Nigeria's industrial strategy: mismatched ambition, capacity, and assumptions that are dressed up as planning, and degrees mistaken for competence. Today we are adding a fourth root cause, perhaps the most corrosive of all: politics and leadership. Not politics in the abstract, politics in the specific, the kind that overrides engineering logic, the kind that ignores transport arithmetic and turns infrastructure decisions into tools of geographic appeasement. Here is what happened in an outline. Some details are better imagined, and I'll spare you that. Take the Delta Steel Company, DSC as we call it. It was originally designed with 4 rolling mills. The plan was coherent: a single integrated facility with inputs and outputs flowing efficiently within one location. Then politics intervened. 3 of those 4 rolling mills were relocated, not for logistic reasons, not for market access, but for political ones, to spread visible industrial presence across regions, to give multiple constituencies a piece of national project. So the mills went to Jos, to Katsina, to Osogbo, and suddenly the plan that made engineering sense made no operational sense at all. Because those inland rolling mills needed a daily supply of billets, roughly 2,000 metric tons each, from the Delta Steel plant hundreds of kilometers away. Just do the maths. To meet that daily requirement, approximately 100 trucks had to depart from Delta Steel every single day to feed each mill. Was this logistics challenge ever seriously addressed in the planning? No, it was not. The mills were commissioned in 1983. From the beginning, they never operated above 15% of capacity. In practice, the average hovered around 10%, a fraction of what was needed to justify that investment. They were underfunded from the start because adequate financing had not been factored into the original plan. Eventually, all 3 inland mills were privatized. The privatization changed nothing. There is a Yoruba proverb that captures this trap precisely: going backward becomes impossible. Going forward proves untenable. Once a politically motivated technological choice is embedded in infrastructure, reversing it is extraordinarily costly. The mills became monuments to the consequences of letting geography and the politics of geography drive industrial architecture. A great idea was destroyed by the stroke of a powerful political pen. Vested interest trumped political interest, public interest. I shall spare you other befuddling stories of political intervention. Now let's bring in Korea. POSCO, the Pohang Iron and Steel Company, which was established in 1968, roughly 3 years before Nigeria's Ajaokuta Steel project began. Both were state enterprises. Both were ambitious national projects. Both carried the hopes of governments that believed that steel would be the engine of industrial transformation. But the comparison ends there. By the time Nigeria's Ajaokuta plant had been under construction for 180 months, 15 years, and was still not operational, POSCO, on the other hand, had an average plant completion time of just 30 months. POSCO had grown to become the 10th largest steel company in the world. It has surpassed Japan and several Western nations to become a low-cost steel producer. It was running at consistent 100% capacity utilization within the first 2 years of each new phase. POSCO saved $80 million simply from completing the construction of phase 1 ahead of schedule. Nigeria's Ajaokuta, by contrast, cost approximately $8 billion in total construction, 28 times what POSCO cost, and it never produced at scale 0 tons of steel. Even today, this plant has annual budget. It produces nothing and nobody is held to account. What made POSCO different? 3 things stand out in the literature. Number 1 is a high degree of management autonomy, even while remaining a state enterprise. Number 2 is fast construction timelines. And the third one is exceptional labor productivity, meaning they hired, they trained, they retained, and kept their skilled people. The last point deserves its own moment. By 1995, Ajaokuta still has lost close to 70% of its trained senior and junior staff. In some plant units, the figure was 100%. Every single skilled worker was gone, replaced by nobody with equivalent competence. Why did they leave? Because the project dragged on for so long that careers couldn't be built inside of it. Talented engineers and technicians cannot wait indefinitely for a plant that may never run. They find other options. And when they leave, they take with them the accumulated technical knowledge, the learning by doing that no training program can quickly replace. Delta Steel Company tells the same story from a different angle. It was completed in December of 1981 and began producing in January of 1982. A genuine achievement in completion. But for the first 7 years, it produced on average just at 10% of its nominal capacity. By 1995, capacity utilization had fallen below 5%. By 1996, the plant has shut down entirely. The POSCO comparison is not meant to shame Nigeria. It is meant to specify the failure, because Nigeria's steel collapse was not inevitable. It was not the result of bad luck, of global headwinds alone. It was a result of identifiable, traceable decisions. Decisions to prioritize political geography and vested interest over engineering logic, to ignore the retention of skilled people, to allow construction timelines to stretch until the human capital project was built unevaporated. South Korea, with fewer natural advantages, made different decisions. It protected management autonomy. It moved very fast. It kept its people. And it built one of the greatest steel companies of the 20th century. The gap between POSCO and Ajaokuta is not a gap in destiny. It is a gap in institutional quality, in the capacity of the state to make decisions based on technical reality rather than political convenience, and to see those decisions through with discipline. It is about whether political forces prioritize development in the first place. That gap can be closed, but only by naming it clearly. Please share this episode with someone who still believes that Nigeria's industrial potential is just waiting to be unlocked. It is, but not without reckoning first. Stay tuned, stay engaged, stay connected. I am Chipolo. Until next time.